Michael sat in the corner booth of the quiet cafe, watching his daughter Emma draw pictures on her napkin. The afternoon light filtered through the windows, casting soft shadows across the wooden tables. That's when he noticed her. A woman sat alone 3 tables away, her shoulders shaking silently. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she stared at her untouched coffee. Her elegant clothes and perfect appearance made the raw emotion on her face even more striking. Emma tugged his sleeve, whispering, "Daddy, that lady looks so sad." Michael hesitated. In today's world, you don't just approach strangers, especially when you're a single father with a young daughter. But something about the woman's despair touched his heart. He remembered his own dark days after his wife, Sarah, passed away 2 years ago. He remembered how a stranger's simple kindness had pulled him back from the edge. He walked over slowly and spoke gently. "Excuse me, I don't mean to intrude, but are you all right? You look like you could use a friend right now." The woman looked up startled. Her eyes were red and swollen. She was probably in her early 30s with kind features that carried the weight of something heavy. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I shouldn't be falling apart in public like this." "Sometimes public is exactly where we need to fall apart," Michael said with a soft smile. "Would you like some company?" "No pressure. My daughter and I are just having our Saturday afternoon together. You're welcome to join us." The woman stared at him for a long moment, as if trying to understand why a stranger would care. Then slowly she nodded. Michael gestured to Emma, who bounded over with her drawings. They moved to the woman's table, and for a moment nobody spoke. "I'm Michael, and this is Emma," he said finally. "She's 7, and she makes the best napkin art in the city." Emma held up her drawing proudly, showing a somewhat lopsided butterfly. The woman managed a weak smile. "I'm Victoria." "That's beautiful, Emma. Why are you crying?" Emma asked with a blunt honesty only children possess. "Emma," Michael started, but Victoria raised her hand. "It's okay," she said, taking a shaky breath. "Sometimes grown-ups have really hard days, sweetie. Today, someone I trusted very much hurt me badly, and I feel very alone." Emma nodded seriously, then slid her butterfly drawing across the table. "You can have this. It makes me happy when I'm sad. Maybe it will help you too." Victoria's eyes filled with fresh tears, but this time she smiled through them. "Thank you, Emma. This is the kindest thing anyone has done for me in a very long time." They sat together for over an hour. Michael didn't pry, but he listened when Victoria wanted to talk. She shared carefully, without revealing much, that she had just discovered her business partner of 10 years had betrayed her. Someone she considered family had stolen from her and destroyed years of trust. Michael shared his own story of loss and rebuilding. How after Sarah died, he had to learn to be both mother and father to Emma. How some days he still felt like he was drowning, but small moments of connection kept him going. "You know what I learned?" Michael said, stirring his coffee. "Pain doesn't make us weak. It's proof we love something deeply enough to hurt when it's gone." That's actually beautiful in its own way. Victoria wiped her eyes. "How did you get so wise?" 52 years of making mistakes," he laughed. "And one very smart 7-year-old who reminds me daily what really matters." When they finally parted ways, Victoria hugged them both tightly. "Thank you for seeing me today, for treating me like a person who just needed kindness." "Take care of yourself, Victoria," Michael said. "And remember, even the darkest night eventually gives way to morning." 2 weeks passed. Michael had almost forgotten about the encounter until an envelope arrived at his apartment. Inside was a handwritten letter on expensive stationery. "Dear Michael and Emma, I cannot stop thinking about your kindness that afternoon. I want you to know that your simple act of compassion arrived at the exact moment I needed it most. I had been sitting in that cafe contemplating giving up on everything I'd built. Your reminder that goodness still exists in the world gave me the strength to fight back. I have enclosed something as a small token of my gratitude. With deepest appreciation, Victoria." Also in the envelope was a check. When Michael looked at the amount, his hands began to shake. $50,000. A business card fell out too. It read Victoria Chin, CEO of Meridian Technologies. Michael's breath caught. Meridian Technologies was one of the largest tech companies in the country. Victoria wasn't just successful, she was a billionaire. He immediately called the number on the card. "Victoria, I cannot accept this," he said when she answered. "We didn't help you for money. We helped because it was the right thing to do." "I know, Michael." Victoria's voice was warm. "That's exactly why I wanted to have it. Do you know how rare that is in my world? Everyone wants something. You wanted nothing except to ease a stranger's pain. Please let me do this. Use it for Emma's future, for your dreams, whatever you need." Michael's eyes filled with tears. "This is too much." "It's not nearly enough," Victoria replied, "but there's something else. I've thought a lot about what you said about what really matters. I've decided to start a foundation dedicated to random act of kindness, funding everyday people who help others, expecting nothing in return. I want you to help me run it, not as an employee, but as a partner. Your wisdom, your heart, that's what this foundation needs." Michael was speechless. "Think about it," Victoria continued, "no pressure. But, Michael, you reminded me why I started building things in the first place. To make the world a little bit better. I'd be honored to do that work alongside you." 3 months later, Michael stood in the bright new offices of Compassion Forward Foundation. Emma played in the corner, while he and Victoria reviewed applications from people nominated for their quiet, everyday kindness. This one, Emma called out, pointing to a story about an elderly man who spent his pension buying groceries for struggling families. "He has a good heart like Daddy." Victoria smiled at Michael. "She's right, you know. About you having a good heart. I just saw someone who needed help," Michael said humbly. "Anyone would have done the same." "But they didn't," Victoria replied. "You did. And that simple choice changed everything, not just for me, but now for thousands of others who will be able to help." Michael looked around the office at the second chance he'd been given, not just financially, but purposefully. A chance to take his pain, his experiences, and transform them into something meaningful. "Sarah would have loved this," he said quietly, referring to his late wife. "She always said the smallest gestures create the biggest ripples." "She sounded like she was wonderful," Victoria said. "She was," Michael agreed, "and she taught me that kindness costs nothing but means everything. I'm just glad I remembered that lesson when it mattered most." Emma ran over, hugging both of them. "Are we helping people today?" "Every day, sweetheart," Michael said, lifting her up. "Every single day." And they did. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of kindness and human connection. Comment below and tell us about a time a stranger's kindness changed your day. Your story might inspire someone who needs hope today.